Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to my 100th video. As promised, the Q&A, and you guys sent me in so many questions. Thank you so much for that, because I was a little bit afraid I was going to be stuck with like 3 questions or so, and that's not really going to be a good Q&A, is it? So yeah, thank you for all the questions. I wrote them down. I haven't really thought of answers yet, so everything I'm going to say is just what's going to pop up in me. I wrote them down in order of which they were asked. So the first question that was asked is the first one that's going to be answered. So it's not like I favor one subscriber over the other or anything like that. Let's get started. First question has been asked by Robert Klaas. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name right, but here we go. What type of enclosure would you recommend for Lampropelma viola Seopis? No boreal setup, obviously. They're beautiful boreals from Asia. The care, I would say, is kind of the same Piscidateria. I never had a Lampropelma viola Seopis myself. I did look into it, but I haven't gotten one yet myself. But yeah, I will give them kind of the same care as a Piscidateria. So as slings, they can be put in those pill vials I keep mine in, my smaller boreals. This kind of setup, only a little bit more dirt till here, so you have like 1.5 inch to 2 inches of dirt in there, then a fake plant so they can climb if they want, and they should be fine as slings in there. And then as they grow on, I will put them in either a 32-ounce deli cup or in the same kind of enclosure I use for my Onyctoctoninae species Meihan Son. She absolutely loved that enclosure and the setup that I gave her. I still gave her about 1.5 inch to 2 inches of substrate, but now put in a piece of cork bark and some fake plants, and she is out and about a whole lot. I get to see her quite a lot, so I'm really happy with that. As adults, they do need quite a large glass tank, or plastic, whatever you want to use, but they need quite a large enclosure because they get quite big. They are one of the biggest arboreals, so not as big as the Ornata, Piscidateria ornata, but they do get quite big. So keep that in mind. Question 2. Question 2 has been asked by Sian Little, and she asked me, what's your biggest achievement in life so far, or in the hobby so far, if the in life part is too personal? My biggest achievement, that's I don't know how to answer this one, in all honesty, because I'm one of those persons that if he gets told like you should be proud of that, I'm always like, yeah, but isn't that supposed to be happening, or am I not supposed to be doing that, or isn't that expected of me? I always find it quite hard to be proud of something that I do, because in my mind it always is something that was supposed to be happening, or I am supposed to be doing, or I'm supposed to be capable of doing. I will say though that I'm very proud that my YouTube channel has grown the way it has, and I'm over 1,400 subscribers now, and it's so awesome that all you guys subscribe to my channel and stay subscribed and keep watching, and it's really, really awesome. That gives me a proud feeling. And of course I did get some help by doing the tarantula attack, that series, you guys know it probably, and I did get a lot of help from David over at Arachnids. He gave me a couple of shout outs, and we did a collab together, and I like to think that a lot of it is because I did put in a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of effort, and my love for the hobby and my love for the creatures, and I really, really feel like I worked for it and I did it myself and I achieved it myself. And David would agree with me that though he gave me shout outs, and shout out only does so much. It only sends the people to my channel, but it is up to me to keep them there, right? So that's why I'm really confident in that it's got to do with what I'm doing. So yeah, that's something I'm really proud of. Question number 3 gets asked by Sandy Nix. Now I know Sandy is from Germany, and she is asking me, Where in the Netherlands do you live? Well, Cindy, I live in Deventer, and it's pretty close by the border. So that's pretty close to the border with Germany. Not too far off. About an hour drive, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but about an hour. So, yeah, that's it, really. Question number 4 gets asked by Viglia Exotics. Now, I wrote this one down because it was hashtag 100, but I'm not really sure if it is a question, but here it goes. How can anybody be bored watching your videos? Your tarantulas literally have the best feeding responses I've ever seen. I mean, the first part is a question, like how can anybody be bored watching your videos? Well, tons of things really. I mean, if I keep showing the same things, I guess you get bored, right? But thank you so much for the compliment, really. So yeah, I do not really know how to answer this, but thank you for the compliments. He asked another question. Do you have a Ceratosaurus darlingi? It's one of my favorite species. I would love to see one on your channel. As a matter of fact, I do. I do have a juvenile female, and if you go back to a rehouse video, not of the rehouse series. I think it's a Tarantula Rehouse Madness Part 1. I believe she's on the thumbnail. I am rehousing her in that video to her current enclosure. She has been seen in a feeding video after that, I believe. But since then she has molted and she hasn't shown herself for the feeding videos anymore. So I'm hoping that after she molts, she will show herself again. But yeah, go check out that video, the Tarantula Rehouse Madness Part 1. I think it's that one. And you will see her. Question number 6. Question number 6 has been asked by Thomas Book, and his question is, what's your day job? And I work in a restaurant as a waiter, and that's also why when I say it's been pretty good weather lately and it's given me overtime, that's why, because when the weather is good, people want to eat outside, and it's always extra stressful and extra busy for us. And yeah, so that's why. And that's also why, if I say I've been quite tired or been working a lot, it's I don't know if you ever worked a day in a restaurant, but if you have, you know it's quite a demanding job, especially as a waiter. People always think that the cooks have it hard, and they do. They work hard, don't get me wrong, they do. Everybody works hard in a restaurant, even the dishwashers. Everybody works hard, but as a waiter, it's mentally pretty demanding, because you get the kitchen shouting to you, you have the guests asking a million questions. So yeah, when I say I'm tired, it's 9 out of 10 times it's mentally, because of all the blah, 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 blah. So but yeah, that's what I do. I'm a waiter, and I think I'm pretty good at it. Question number 7, also by Thomas Book. Does any of your friends and family share your interest in collecting inverts? No, they don't. Of course, I got friends inside the hobby that do, but my friends that I had before I started, no, they don't. They don't really care that I do. It's not keeping them from coming over or anything. I will say that my mom does genuinely show interest in my hobby, asking me how my animals are doing. And I don't know if you've seen the video, but I did get a I believe it was for my birthday. I did get tarantulas from my mom and my parents, and she's asking how are they doing, are they growing, and do you have pictures? So she does show a genuine interest, but not in the way of collecting them, if that makes any sense. Question number 8 has been asked by Sina. You guys know her as Spider Woman on YouTube. And she asked me, is there going to be any breeding projects for the tarantulas? Yes, there is. I've got a breeding project coming up. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I want to keep it a secret. I want to keep it a surprise, but I'm very, very excited about that one. I did, of course, do the breeding video on the Monstromus balfouri female, but I don't think she's gonna make an egg sac. I'm gonna try putting her on a little bit warmer spot in my house and giving her a higher humidity, see if that will get her to make the egg sac. But yeah, we'll have to see about that. But yeah, there are multiple breeding projects coming along. I also really would like to breed my Phimictopus caceretes female, the adult one, and the Phimictopus trichomatis. I just can't find males for them. But the other breeding project I'm talking about that will be happening reasonably soon is I do have a male for her. Somebody's going to bring that male back home from a show in Germany for me, and that's going to be quite exciting. So yeah, breeding project is coming up. Question number 9 has been asked by Ellen Mills. Are you going to breed your big Acanthoscurria geniculata? Yes, I'm obsessed with her. No, Ellen, I'm sorry. She is not one of the tarantulas that I'm going to breed. The reason for it is that Acanthoscurria geniculata has been bred quite a lot over here in Europe. And sellers are having quite a hard time selling the slings. They get given as freebies with orders and because they have been overbred really, and I'm really not looking forward to having an egg sac with like 1,000 babies or so, because they get huge big egg sacs with 1,000 or 1,500 babies. I don't know, I think 1,000 is more reasonable, but more realistic, but and not being able to sell half of them. So no, that's not one of the breeding projects coming along. I would really love to breed her, you know, she's big, she's beautiful, but the fact that I know I won't be able to sell all the babies, sorry, all the slings, no, she's not going to be bred. Question number 10 has been asked by Laurie Minnick. By the way, if I pronounced anyone's name wrong, I'm sorry. You know, I'm trying, I'm doing my best. I'm just pronouncing them the way I think I should. But if I'm wrong, you know, I'm sorry. But Laurie Minnick asks, what do you suggest for my first arboreal tarantula? Now, that is quite a hard question because it's kind of dependent on your experience with tarantulas so far. If you aren't that long in the hobby yet or only have experience with New Worlds, I would definitely suggest a Avigliaria or a Caribena or any of the other ex-Avigliarias, because they are cool tarantulas. They usually eat a lot, are good eaters, and they're really not that hard to care for. If you see my videos, you know I have a Caribena versicolor. She is now a juvie, and I got her as a small sling, first instar. I do have 12 Avigliaria giroldi slings, which I all got as first instars, and they're now like about 3 or 4 instar, and they're all doing fine. I do have an adult female Avigliaria. I've had no problem raising them at all, and so yeah, I would really recommend that one as your first tarantula, an aphid or an ex-aphid species. I think you can't go wrong with that. Just remember that even though they do need humidity, obviously, you need to have a lot of cross ventilation. And again, I use these files. I've got a row of ventilation on the bottom, I've got a row on the top, and I've got holes in the lid, and all of them have been doing fine so far. So if you decide to get one, feel free to message me on Facebook, whatever, and I will answer any question you have about care, and then or I can do a video about it if anybody wants me to do. But yeah, definitely get one of those. Question number 11 is asked by Debbie McClure. Out of all your collection, which tea is your absolute favorite and why? This is a question I really hate because it's such a difficult one. I got so many tarantulas that I like. I really like them, and my favorite tarantula, I'm really stuck, and between the Gramstola rosea, Brachypelma albopulosum, and the Phemictopus trichomatis. And I will tell you why. Because my Gramstola rosea is really a cute spider, and she does eat a lot better than most Gramstola roseas are said to do, which is really cool. I really love my Brachypelma albopulosum. She's calm female, always eats. I can watch her for hours and she won't come out. And even if she's trying to come out, I'll just keep my hand there. She'll crawl on my hand. I usually do not handle my tarantula, you know that, but she will sit there. You know, she's one of those tarantulas I'm comfortable with handling. Yeah, and the other one, the Trichomatis, because she was my first one. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Trichomatis. My absolute favorite, the Trichomatis. Now I feel bad for the others. Question number 12 is asked by David. You know him as Arachnids on YouTube, of course. And his first question is, when are we doing a collab? And you're right, we really need to do that collaboration video. We've been talking about it for quite a while now, haven't we? We will soon, but we have to think of something that's really cool and a little bit different than all the other collaborations that other people are doing, right? I mean, we are a little bit different, so I guess we should be doing a little bit different collaboration video. So yeah, we really just need to think of something cool, and we will do that collaboration video when we have the time. His second question. Doesn't Arachnids have the best takedown clips on YouTube? Almost. I think there's one guy that has better videos. He's from the Netherlands, I believe. Yeah, he's got quite cool takedowns. But you're the second, I think. You know, there's no shame in that. His third question is, what's your favorite food? Now, that's sounds like an easy question, right? But to me, it's a really hard question, and the reason for it is I've been trying to gain weight all my life, okay? Which means I've been pounding food whenever I could, whatever I could, eating. But the only reason I ever ate was to gain weight, not because I liked the food. Of course, I have candy that I like the taste, but it's also in my back in my head. Sweets, sugars should make me fat, right? So there's always that underlying thought of, I need to gain weight. I want to gain weight. I need to get fat. Needless to say, it didn't work. I just recently stopped eating with the thought of, I want to gain weight. I really got over that finally. But because of that, you're not eating because you like it. You're not eating because you think something tastes good. You're not eating because you're having fun together with other people eating together. I enjoyed the company, but it was never about the food for me when eating with friends or family or whatever. So it's pretty hard to pick a favorite food. But one thing I did always enjoy eating a bit more, did enjoy a little bit eating compared to all the rest, was Asian food, especially the little bit spicy Asian food. That's something I really like and still eat quite a lot of, really. So I'm gonna go with Asian food. Yeah. His fourth question: how long have you been keeping now? And that's about 7 years now, I guess. Yeah, sounds about right. Could be 7.5, but yeah, less than 8. That's for sure. Somewhere between 7 and 7.5 years. And his fifth question: really, David? Is the hobby strong in Denmark? Come on, man. Just because Netherlands is a really small country doesn't mean you can just disregard us and call us Denmark. You know, Denmark is pretty far away. You know, I wouldn't know. I mean, ask somebody from Denmark. Yeah. Anyways, but I know this of course was a joke. Yeah. Question number 13 is asked by James Boslet. Am I pronouncing that right, Boslet? Because the words bos and the word sled are both just normal words in Dutch. So I'm not quite sure how I have to pronounce it when they are together. I'm hoping it is James Boslet. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, mate. But anyways, his question. Do you have a tarantula communal enclosure? If not, any plans to set one up, and what species? I don't have it. I used to have an Monoceros balfouri communal of 5, and at one moment I only kept seeing 2 every time. A really fat one and a skinny one, and I got quite obsessed with it, right? So I started digging them out, and there were only 2 left. Now, I do not know if there was any cannibalization going on. I don't know if they eat each other, whatever. I don't know. Or if the one just ate all the food and the other ones didn't get anything. I don't know what happened, but that made me quite a little bit scared, and I separated them. And those are the 2 juveniles I have now that you still never see in my feeding videos because they don't show up. But yeah, I am planning on getting another communal, but I will be putting those 2. I'm thinking about putting those 2 juveniles back together again. I've spoken to multiple experienced people that have Monoceros balfouri communals and have integrated multiple communals together, and also have added fresh blood to it, and that all went well. So I am thinking of putting those 2 back together, and I know it's only a communal of 2. But yeah, I was really hoping that my Monoceros balfouri would make an egg sac and then keep like 5 or 10 babies in with mom and have that as a starting communal. But yeah, as I said in the question asked by Spider-Woman, I don't think she's gonna make an egg sac. I'm not sure. She hasn't anyways yet. So, but yeah, I'm thinking strongly about putting those 2 juvenile balfouris together. They used to be together, so I'm hoping that they will accept each other again. So I'm just not sure if I'm willing to take the risk yet, even though a lot of people told me it will be fine. People with experience, I still feel like there is somewhere in risk, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to take that one yet, but maybe in the near future, who knows. And it could very well be that in 2 weeks I think I'm gonna put them together, that I'm just, you know, we'll have to see. But I really want another communal, and probably if it's not gonna be them, it's gonna be some other Monoceros balfouris, but it's gonna be a balfouri because I think they make the best communals out of all the species that can be kept communally. Question 14 says by Goldie4041, which is Tracy, of course. And Tracy asks, any other hobbies besides tarantulas and snakes? Not really. Yeah, there is, though. There is. I like photography, and I like drawing, painting not so much, but drawing I like a lot. But yeah, I just lack the time really with my work and all the tarantulas obviously that I need to take care of, and a YouTube channel that I really enjoy doing. So yeah, maybe YouTube is a hobby. I don't know. Does that count as a hobby? But yeah, photography as well. I did used to have a pretty good camera, but during my move from one apartment to the other, it dropped, or I think it dropped, but it doesn't work anymore. So that's really a shame. So and I don't have the money to pay like €1,000 again for a very good camera. So maybe in the future I will pick up photography again, but who knows. Question 15, also by Goldie. 2 questions really. What's your biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve would be people buying tarantulas without having done any research in them. I'm not talking general research, in the species. or buying from a pet shop and then go online in Facebook groups and for whatever, and then ask for opinions, get opinions, and then just say, yeah, but the person in the pet shop said different, so I'm just going to keep it as it is. That's really that's. I mean, why ask for our opinions if you're not going to do anything with it? Why will you not listen? That's my biggest pet peeve, I think. So yeah. And then the all important toilet paper, over or under? Really? Is that a question? Okay, at the risk of being called a barbarian, I do not really care personally. I will say though, the restaurant where I work, we have those toilet paper dispensers, of course, with the rolls in there, and those rolls have a small pin and a wide pin, and the dispensers have a small slot and a wider slot, so the roll only goes in one way, and if you do it in correctly, it's over. So I'm guessing that's the correct way. I don't know. Question number 16. Laurie Walker. Is there any type of arachnid you wouldn't keep, and why? Yes. I do not feel like I need a six-eyed sand spider. Sicarius, I don't know the name for sure, so I'm not gonna say something. But the six-eyed sand spider, it's a scary little bugger. One other spider that I absolutely will not ever keep is the Brazilian wandering spider, because I don't know if you've ever heard what it does to a man if it gets bitten by one, but that's not gonna happen to me. No way. I would rather get bitten by a centipede or whatever. No. I'm not gonna get bitten by a Brazilian wandering spider. I don't know if it's true. I've read it in multiple occasions, but what I've heard, and with the risk of making a fool of myself right now, but I've heard that if you get bit by a Brazilian wandering spider as a man, that you get a erection. That's going to be rather painful. That lasts quite long, and after that you will not ever be able to get an erection again. I don't know if it's true, but just that it's enough for me to say I don't need one in my collection. So yeah, that's it. Okay, question number 17 has been asked by Nuno Gomez. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name right, mate. We talk a lot through Facebook Messenger, and I'm thinking it's Nuno, but it could be Nuno. I don't know. I think it's Nuno, but anyways, I'm sorry I mispronounced it again. But anyways, he asked me a lot of questions, 8 in total. So let's just start with the first one, right? When did you decide to get what as your first tarantula, and why? Well, previous questions kind of sum it up already, I guess, but it was about 7.5 years ago when I decided, well, it was longer than that. It was about 8 years ago that I decided I wanted to get a tarantula. And what I decided as my first tarantula was the Trichomatis. And why is, I was working on a reptile show, because I was into the snakes already back then. So I went to a lot of reptile shows, and all of a sudden I walked past a table of a vendor that was selling tarantulas, and the Phimictopus trichomatis slings were the only ones that were like right in the open. All the others were in their burrows or hiding, and he had 5 or 6 trichomatis slings on his table, and they were all out in the middle of the tub they were in, and they were visible, and that's what made me decide to get that tarantula at that moment. I asked the seller for how would I care for this one, and he told me, and I asked him, would it be one I would be able to handle, because I guess that's one of the things that is very important when you just start with the hobby. And then he said, well, I wouldn't recommend it. Phimictopus is do have quite an attitude. I said okay, but I still wanted it, and it's been doing great so far. So I'm really happy that I did get her as my first tarantula. Um, number Question number 2: did you receive any bad comments from friends or family when you started keeping tarantulas? No, not really. Most of my friends and family already knew that I had snakes, of course. So they knew I was into the exotic animals, and um, my mom reacted with like, "Why am I not surprised?" You know, she um, it wasn't like she saw it coming, but it was also not really a big surprise to her that I started having arachnids, tarantulas as well. Um, Especially not because um, she knew I was really interested in arachnids and in tarantulas after I saw that old picture of me when I was like 5 or 6 years old with my hands together and holding a big Brachypelma hamori. Back then it was still the Smithy, of course. Um, Maybe it was the true Smithy, I don't know. I'm just assuming it was the hamori. But anyways, um, and that seeing that picture really sparked my interest, and so my mom wasn't really surprised I was getting into arachnids. Neither was my dad or my 2 sisters. So and friends, they didn't really comment or react on it. They were like, oh okay, you know. So yeah. Question number 3: uh, have you bred tarantulas before? If so, what species? um, and are you thinking of doing a breeding in the future again? And if so, what species? Um, yes, I've bred a species before. It was the Tapnecinius violaceus, and I did get a successful egg sac of that. I will insert some pictures in a moment of her with the egg sac, of me holding the egg sac and opening the egg sac. It was quite a successful breeding. I had over 100 eggs with legs in it. They all molted into nymphs and first instars, except one. It never made it out of the eggs with legs stage, but okay. But I was quite overwhelmed by it, and I got the mill for free, and it was a breeding loan. And he said, "Well, you can try." You know, he was one of the big hobbyists here in the Netherlands, which I really got to know very well. And he lent me that mill. He said, hey, "Just try it, and if it's successful, we'll just do 50-50, and that will be that." I said, "Okay," but I gave him all the slings because I was quite overwhelmed by the amount of it, and I didn't expect I would get over 100 slings because it was really a tiny egg sac, and I had no idea to expect that many. Um, so I gave him all the slings, and I got a couple of cool other tarantulas in return for it, you know. So it was all cool. And yes, I'm planning on doing a couple of more breedings, especially now I know what to expect. And yeah, one of them is the secret one that's going to be happening quite soon. So yeah. Um, Question number 4: do you have any tarantula that is more special to you than the other tarantulas? If so, which one and why? Um, yeah, the Phimictopus atrichomatus again is a little bit more special to me than a lot of the others. Yeah, well, for all the reasons I've already mentioned, you know, she was my first. She is also has been for a very very long time the only tarantula that I bought as a sling that turned out to be female. And the second one is only the Lasiodora parabana, who is still just a juvie now. But that was only the second that turned out to be female out of all the slings I've ever bought. All the other ones either are still not sexed or matured male and have been sent off for breedings and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've been very, very unfortunate with slings, actually, until I got the Lasiodora parabana. Hopefully, I'll be getting a couple more females out of all the other slings I have right now. The Mei Hong Son is a possible female, suspect, but we'll see. But yeah, the Trichomatis. Sorry, I'm dwindling. His fifth question: What do you want to do What do you want to do, hobby related, that you haven't done yet? Keep a successful communal. I really want to do that. That's one of the things I haven't succeeded in yet, and that's something I really want to do. So yeah, having successful communal would be something that is really cool, and maybe become a little bit more well known in the breeding world. It's been a long time since I had that exec of the Topinocinius violaceus. I have a couple of adult females now that I would like to breed. So maybe get an exec a little bit more regular and not like once every 3 years or so. That something. His sixth question: Have you ever been tagged by a tarantula? If so, what species? No, luckily not. I've been pretty careful. I thank my Trichomatis female for that. She prepared me pretty well. There have been times I could have been tagged, which I wasn't that smart. A couple of those times are on video, like when I'm rehousing the Trinocylus murinus female, then I'm going with my hand into the enclosure to pick up the vial. Also when I'm rehousing the Onyxoctonus aureotibialis. And the rehouse video in which I'm rehousing the Devil's evil twin sister, the Cereoplatypus lividus. She could have tagged me. I was a little bit uncareful. Luckily I noticed that in time and I didn't get tagged, but no, I haven't been tagged lately. I haven't been tagged at all, ever, by any of my tarantulas. His seventh question is: Do you ever travel to other reptile shows? Well, I've been to one in Germany, and but no, not outside of the Netherlands really, because there is really a big arachnid show in Germany, somewhere else in Marburg, I believe the place is called, but it's like a 6-hour drive or an 8-hour drive with a car, and I don't have a car, so I can't even get there. And of course there's the BTS or any other show in England for arachnids, but yeah, if I go there, I want to take something home, right? And so I can go with plane, because I'm not sure if I am allowed to take. I don't think I'm allowed to take a tarantula into the plane. Maybe in the luggage, I don't know, but I don't know if that's too cold or anything. I don't know. So I would either have to go by ferry, and that's one very long trip, and two, then I would need to take public transportation to the place where the show is. I need to find me a hotel. It's going to be so expensive, and it's going to be all taken away from the budget, which would allow me to buy a spider. So I would like to go to one of those UK shows to meet some of the UK YouTubers, to meet my UK subscribers, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. His seventh question: Your football club, and that would be soccer for the American viewers. Well, since I am from the Netherlands, it would have to be Ajax, the football club from Amsterdam. I used to go to their games a lot. I used to watch them on TV every Sunday. I had that live TV thingy that I could watch every match. But yeah, since I work in a restaurant, I just don't. I'm always working on Sunday, so I don't get to see the matches or go to the stadium and see the matches. So, question number 19. Victor, Spidey V. He asked me, please show us your ball python. I would like to see how it has grown and give us some info on the basics of the care. I'm going to show you the ball python in a minute. I first will the info on the care. I think I could better do a video on that, or if you really want to know it, shoot me a message, because it's going to be quite a thingy to do on the video. It's going to take some time, and I think this video is going to get quite long already. Yeah, but what you said, I would like to see how it has grown. I'm not sure if you do know, but a snake grows different than a tarantula does. Obviously, they both shed. Well, a snake sheds, a tarantula molts, but they cast off their skin. But a tarantula has a certain size, and then it molts and it is bigger. A snake just grows and sheds, and you don't see a difference of before and after the shed. Only in colors they intensify because they get dull when they are in shed. So you won't see a clear growth. I will take her out now and I will show you what she looks like. She's freshly shed, so she looks pretty good. She also just took a pretty big rat, which was a frozen thawed rat, pretty recently, so she is a little bit fat. I have to be a bit careful with her because I don't want her to regurgitate it. But I will show you her right now. Well, here she is. And I used to have a lot of ball pythons. I did breed them. But she is now the only one I have left. And she is the only one I have left because, look at her. But she's the favorite I've ever hatched. I used to breed them. And she's my favorite one I've ever hatched. And she's a combination of 3 very simple genes, but it's just a perfection together. To me it is anyways. She's a little bit fired up. She looks like she could bite me if I would hold my hand there. Now I'm not too worried about being bitten by a ball python, especially not this size, because it doesn't really hurt. It's more like a pinprick, but it could damage their teeth, and that's could be problematic, of course, for them eating. But yeah, this is my ball python, the only one I've still left, and I really love this girl. Let's see. Here you see her pattern. Beautiful. So yeah, that's her. All right. Next question. Next question is by Nu or Noe. It's spelled Noe. The question is, I'm new to the hobby and I'm in the process of convincing my mom to let me have a tarantula. Any tips or advice on how to convince her? The only thing I can think of is what worked for me with my parents, or my mom and my stepdad, and what would work for me if my kids would do it is show me that you really want it. Show me how much you want it. Show me how passionate you are about having it. And by having a tarantula, that would be investigated, studying it, reading everything you can find about tarantulas, watching everything you can find on tarantulas, and make her see that you are studying, make her see that you are reading, make her see you are watching those videos, and not just the feeding videos, but the informational videos, the videos in how to keep them, in the rehouse videos, the that kind of stuff. That's really the only thing I can think of that would work on my parents, you know, and but would work on me if I would have kids and they wanted something. Study it. But that's all really, and show her that you are studying it. Make sure she sees it, and every now and then say, "Look at this, Mom. Look how cool this is." You know, get her involved in you studying. Maybe that way she will maybe not get excited about it, but maybe she will warm up to the idea of having a tarantula in the house. Now, if she is arachnophobic, if she is afraid of tarantulas, that's going to be a whole different story. Then you would need to get her to work on her phobia before you can do anything else, really. But then again, if she has that phobia and you study it, involve her in you studying it. You know, let her see things, so she slowly gets involved and maybe even gets curious, and see that they aren't the monsters that she is afraid of, in case she has arachnophobia. Now he asked the second question, and that is, I have a friend who is selling her skeleton tarantula. What is your thoughts on what's your thoughts on that species? And would it be an okay beginner species? Well, my thought on the species is that they are an awesome tarantula. They are beautiful, but no, they are not a very good beginning species. Yes, they are New World tarantulas, so that's one thing. But they are a little bit more defensive than the usual beginning species, New World tarantulas. Their venom, I don't know. I believe it's a bit more potent than that of the Brachypelma and Grammostola and that kind of stuff. If you really want to start with a tarantula that's a good beginner, I would really advise a Brachypelma albopilosum. I really love mine, and it's a really cool tarantula. But if you get one that's already a little bit bigger. Don't get a snake because they take a long time to grow. So get a juvenile and start with that. That would be my advice. Or get a there used to be a Homoeoma species red. They're now a no, there used to be a Uatla species red. They are now a Homoeoma chilensis, I believe. But they are really cool. But again, get at least a juvie, preferably an adult, if you get those, because they grow even slower than the Brachypelma albopilosum does. Next question, another one by Debbie McClure. What do the people you work with think about you keeping tarantulas? They think I'm crazy, and they're right. I am a little bit, but yeah, they think I'm crazy for keeping tarantulas. Some of them are a little bit interested though, asking questions sometimes, or some of them are warming up a little bit. Some are intrigued, some are not too happy about the thought of tarantulas or me showing them tarantulas, but yeah, it wasn't too bad really. Next question is by CSTs. How did you get in the hobby, in the tarantula hobby? Well, I was at my parents' place about 8-9 years ago, and I was going through an old photo album, and I saw myself with my hands together as a 6 or 7 year old boy with a big tarantula on it, which later turned out to be a Brachypelma hamori, as I said a couple of questions back. And but that sparked my interest, and that's how I got into the hobby. So yeah, that's how, really. All right, last question. This one has been asked by Victor. So second question from Victor, Spidey V, and his question is, what do you really think about haters and the silly or abusive or nasty comments that are put up in your video comments? I would like to say I don't think of them at all. But that wouldn't be true. It probably would be a too even answer. It's a difficult question because obviously when you're replying to comments, sorry, when you're replying to the comments, even the hateful ones, you have to be diplomatic about it because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings that is just reading them, right? You want to have aimed at the person that made the comment, but you don't want to upset anybody else who's reading it. So you have to be a bit diplomatic and careful about what you say and the words you use. Now, luckily, with my experience and difficult customers at my work, I'm getting quite good at it. But yeah, what I think about I don't know what to think about the comments they make. I mean, it's like, I know they are trying to get under your skin, and you shouldn't let them, because what I think about the person that's doing it, I think it's probably just some low-life scumbag that has nothing to do with his life and sits behind his computer all day and tries to make comments that make no sense just to make himself feel better or herself feel better about the person itself. And that's what I think about the persons doing it. They're just trolls, and I've talked about this, and I've read posts in Tarantula YouTube community Facebook group, and all the other YouTubers said, just ban them, block them, delete the comments, that kind of stuff. And I agree with them, but I don't. I probably should, but I don't. And that's because I every now and then like to troll the troll. And I usually troll the troll by coming with facts and pointing out the obvious that they are wrong. And it's fun because 9 of 10 times they don't reply anymore. And I'm like, okay, done. But yeah, what I really think of them is that they're probably some low life that have issues and try to make themselves feel better about themselves by trying to downgrade other people. That's what I think about them. So yeah, that was it. That was the Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you made it to the end because I think it's going to be a pretty long video. I hope my answers were satisfactory to everybody. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. The next video will be a sling feeding video. As you guys know, I wanted to try the pip and pip. It didn't work. My computer kept giving errors when trying it. So I gotta do it like this. But I do have a few clips and I will get more and I will make a sling feeding video that will be next. And I gotta do some rehouses and of course I'm gonna unbox a male pretty soon and I will reveal that breeding project. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you did like it. If you got more questions or if an answer wasn't clear, whatever, let me know in the comment box as well. And see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.